So this is how I want you to think about, and Johnny Dunn here I see in the chat, Bitcoin and golf, rocket ship. So Johnny's going to like this analogy here. Essentially what's happening, think about this in golf terms. If you had a bunch of golfers, let's say that you had 1,000 golfers in a circle, and you had a hole in the middle of that circle. And let's say everybody's 200 yards out. They're all hitting different shots, different irons. Some are hitting a 5-iron, some are hitting a 6-iron, but they're all trying to make a hole in one. Everybody's 200 yards in a circle away from the hole, and they're all trying to make a hole in one. And whoever makes a hole in one gets the reward. So that's kind of the first step here. That's the whole thing that's happening here. That's number one. And every time there's a hole in one, it resets. And ideally here, you want a hole in one on average to be every 10 minutes, right? So if it's happening faster than that, you move back 5 yards. If it's taken longer than 10 minutes, you move up 5 yards. And that's kind of the Bitcoin difficulty adjustment. That's how that works. Is every X amount of blocks, if it's taken longer or shorter, it gets adjusted by the code, by the algorithm. So that's what somebody else added. And I think that that's brilliant. And if you take it one step back even further, let's say it's 2011, when it was very easy to mine a block because there was hardly anybody out there who was competing against you. So let's say that back in 2011, this was actually 100 people in a circle hitting 30-foot putts. That's how easy it was. You could get your uncle, you could hire your uncle to go for the day. He's hitting 30-foot putts over and over again, try to make the first putt. And whoever makes the first putt gets the reward. And then you restart. But then over time, you fast forward 10 years, and all of a sudden you have hundreds of thousands of more people who are trying to do this. So it gets a lot harder. There's more competition. It requires more energy. So now it evolved from a small group of people who are mining, basically with computers. Compare your computer here to like your Uncle Jim in terms of like skill level. And then it's evolved to be very efficient miners all around the world, and many of them. So it's moved back now. It's much more difficult to mine Bitcoin because there's so much more competition there. And the proof of work aspect of this is that it's the exact same with Bitcoin as it is in golf. So you could actually pay Tiger Woods $5 million to be the guy shooting your balls. And he's going to have a much higher odds of hiring somebody like me for $500 to go hit balls. He's going to get a lot more hole-in-ones than me. I might only hit the green 1 shot out of 10. Tiger's going to have a lot higher odds of hitting that. So he's worth more, just like a S21 miner versus an S9. More efficient. You put in more energy into it. Tiger Woods has golfed for 10 hours a day for the last 30 years. That's proof of work. And so he's going to be hitting shots. His odds of hitting a hole-in-one are going to be much higher than mine. But I only cost $500, but I still have a chance. There's still a chance that I could get a hole-in-one there. But my odds are significantly lower than Tiger Woods would be. So then you have companies hiring Tiger Woods. You have companies hiring Scotty Scheffler. You have companies hiring Johnny Dunn. He's less expensive, and there's a less chance of him hitting a hole-in-one, but there's still a chance that he could hit a hole-in-one, just like the Bitcoin block rewards. So that is my analogy for Bitcoin mining in terms of golf. That's how you have to look at it. You don't have to worry about all the details and the technical stuff. That's the proof of work protocol. It's the actual energy you put into something, the higher odds it is that you're going to solve that block and be rewarded in Bitcoin. And see, here's a comment. It says, not exactly the same as golf. Golf requires skill and chance, but Bitcoin mining is just chance. No, it's not. It's not just, I mean, it is. But at the same time, the more energy you put into that, the higher your odds are. That's the point I'm getting at here. Because golf does require skill and chance, Bitcoin requires energy and chance. And energy and skill are pretty much the exact same thing. So if you had a single S9 miner at your house versus 100,000 S21 miners down the road, that is going to have a much higher odds of solving the block equation because there's more energy going into it. And if you had me over here versus Tiger Woods is going to hit a lot more hole-in-ones than me because he has more skill. He's put more energy into what he does. It's the exact same thing. So it's not just chance. The more energy that you have there, I mean, at the end of the day, yes, it is just chance, but the more energy you put into it, the more guesses you make and the higher your chances are. So I understand what you're saying there, but it's the same. It's just energy. Skill and energy are the same thing, because in order to get skill, you have to put energy into it. Yes. Energy equals skill. It is. Think about any skill. And that's kind of what we're leading into this next part here is skill is just energy.